Hello and welcome. My name's Marie and this is my yarn journey. For those of you who know me, you'll probably tell that I'm not sounding like myself. I come down with the dreaded lurgy, a bit of a cold, flu, whatever, and I've been quite ill the last couple of days, and it started with a sore throat. So if I'm breathing deeply, sniffling, all the rest of it, do apologise, but I wanted to come on and I wanted to do this video for you. I said I would do it Sunday and I've only just now managed to get around to feeling well enough to record it. I have got a Lemsip on the go. Hopefully that will stop me from coughing and all the likes, and I'll try and edit out any of that if I need to blow my nose or something. Also want to address the state of my hair. I got one of these for Christmas and I used it for the first time last night. Not sure what I've done wrong, but it's all gone a bit weird. I did sleep in it, which I think is what you're supposed to do. And yeah, it looked very funky. I don't think my fella was quite sure what was going on, but apologies, I just got interrupted there. I was telling you about the hair situation and this contraption. If you haven't seen it before, you're supposed to put it round your head, kind of. I've put that in the wrong place, but anyway, that's used to clip it on. So you put it round, you have your hair wet, and then you have it down here, and then you twist your hair round it and keep it secure with these scrunchies at the bottom. So I thought I'd give it a go last night. Now I don't know if my technique was off or what. It's my first time using it. I think my problem will have been my hair was too wet, because it was really wet when I put it in it. But yeah, this is what we've been left with. What I did do this morning, because I could feel that my hair was still really damp, and it still feels damp now, to be fair, is I pinned it on top of my head like this, and then I blow dried it. So yeah, if anyone's got any tips for the best way to use these, I'd appreciate that. Excuse me, sorry. Anyways, I think that's everything that I wanted to tell you. Oh, today I'm wearing my Purl sweater, which I absolutely love. I wear it all the time. I was worried when I first knitted it because it was quite scratchy around the neckline. No longer really bothers me at all. It's not the super softest jumper, but it's so very cosy, and it's one I reach to all the time. And yeah, it's knitting woolly knits. Cone and merino it was. So for merino, it's not a soft merino at all. It's very scratchy, but it's a budget friendly yarn, and it actually wears well. I mean, I must wear this at least once a week at the moment, and it fits me perfect. The length's turned out good. I love the big ribbing. I love the oversized fit of it. It's oversized without me feeling drowned. I love that it's a V-neck. I can't say enough good things about this pattern and this yarn combo, because what I am noticing in the last few months of the year is that some of my fibre content yarn combinations with patterns are not matching up and not producing the finish that I'm expecting. But that's a bit of a tangent. I'm going to run you through what I've knit in 2024. And I was excited to do this video. I was even more excited because if you've been here for any time, you'll know that I've got a terrible memory. I often forget from one podcast to the next, which is only 1 week apart, what I've done, what I've said, etc, etc. But because I've been a good girl this year, and I have kept a record of everything that I have, everything that's gone in and out in my stash. And for my outs, I have not just written down amounts, I've written down what they are. And that's because originally I was like, if I just write a number there, I knew I'd forget, and I'd come back later in the month to write something down and I'd be like, oh, I've written that, you know what I mean? I wouldn't know what it was for, and I'd get confused. So I've been writing down the names of them. What that does then mean is that I know from this little handy notebook here is exactly what I've knit, what I've finished every single month this year. So I can even do it in chronological order, can you believe it? Now, some of the garments I might not have here, some might already have been frogged, and I'll talk you through those. And I tell you what, I don't know if you can fully see this in shot, but it's a huge pile, and that's just garments there. And I've got a few accessories at the front, not all of them here, I don't think. And I've got some socks. Apologies, my socks were about to be chucked in the washing machine. I wear my handmade socks all the time at the moment because I'm wearing boots and stuff, so it doesn't matter if they're all crazy patterned or whatever, which a lot of mine from were that I knit. Has one fallen off? Oh no. So, should I stop rambling? Should I start? I will say just before I start, sorry, again, something else to say. It's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve. Hope you're having a good one, whatever you're doing. I don't think there's going to be much going on here. We have got Nosferatu booked for tomorrow for New Year's Day. My mum is coming with us, so that is going to be good. My partner has been looking out for that coming out. He's a film geek, basically. He knows all the directors' names, all the actors and actresses' names. Big into directors, all that sort of thing. And basically when we go to the cinema, it's normally a film he's chosen. There's normally something most months. But yeah, we're going to watch Nosferatu tomorrow. It's the day it's released. And I'm actually quite looking forward to it. It's not normally my genre of films. If you haven't seen it, it is a Dracula story, but it's the remake of a very old black and white movie, Count Orlok. And there's been mixed reviews about it. Some people say it's really slow, and some people absolutely love it for what it is, because I get the impression that it's a very atmospheric film, very gothic, that sort of dark style. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be feeling a lot better by then. It's tea time tomorrow, so fingers crossed. So let's start, because I keep waffling on about random things. Can't you tell I'm not feeling the usual self? Or is it just my usual self? I don't know. You could decide. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you're getting up to today or tomorrow if you're celebrating the new year coming in. I'll probably be setting up my planner later, which will be nice. Okay, so you're here for the yarn, not for all the other chat, are you? So in January last year, no, this year, sorry, we're not in the new year yet. So in January, sorry. So I did the headband and the fingerless mitts. Oh, and I'm saying that I put some in my blanket as well, and I'll show you these. Now, I don't know about this headband. Is a petite knit headband. It's a really good pattern. I've not actually worn it, which is crazy. Shall I show you? My hair looks an absolute state anyway. Sorry if the mic gets knocked or anything. And I'm not the best at putting this on. Probably looks stupid, but the reason I've done this was I thought it would be ideal for dog walking days. After I'd knit this, I did think that I could have done it a little bit thicker, and it would have been quite good, because it does cover my ears though, because that's what I was doing it for. I thought on the dog walks it'll be great for covering my ears and stopping the draft getting in. Oh, my already dodgy hair is probably looking even worse. But yeah, that was the headband. It's a petite knit pattern, and I will put that the pattern information on the screen so that you can see what it is. I'd highly recommend it. It's dead easy to knit, and yeah, I really enjoyed doing that one. And these are the fingerless mitts. Now, again, I can't really remember if it was I don't think it was part of the same pattern. But these, I feel quite nice now I'm putting them on. This was a Malbrigo yarn, I think. I may be wrong on that. If I can find out what yarn it is, I will tell you. It's one I got from Northern Yarns. I do know that because me and Mona had a similar one, I think. Now these feel quite, because I thought they feel a little bit baggy, but because of my, at this point I didn't know about my tight bind off. So on the thumbs they're very tight, but the actual fabric, if you can see, is quite loose. Again, I've not really worn these. They are nice though. Okay, the next thing that I have on here is stripy socks. Oh yes, I forgot when I first read what these were, but these were the stripy socks that I made with the yarn that I got from Yarndale, which was the Yarn Badger, I think. And it was a self-striping, rainbow coloured, beautiful yarn. I knit the full pair of socks. It took 50 grams of the striped colour, and then I had a contrast, which was a white colour. These have now been frogged. They looked absolutely stunning. They were really neat. Just didn't fit. They were way too small. At that point, I was still not understanding that my knitting and gauge was tighter. And I think I'd just gone ahead and done a standard. I think at that point I was doing 64 stitches and I was doing it on 2.25, and they just turned out really, really tight. Then I made some scrappy leftover socks, which I've no longer got. They were DK weight. I don't think I've got them anyway. I had them in my slipper sock drawer. I just found them quite uncomfortable to wear. I don't know what yarns I'd used in those, but yeah. And then we can move on to February. There wasn't anything of significance there, was there? I must have had a top on the go, I would have thought, but can't remember what. Okay, so for February, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finished objects. The first was the Blue Fern socks, which I got the landscape minis from Blue Fern yarn from January, and those colours were absolutely stunning. And I decided to do a toe-up pair of socks, and it was my first time doing a toe-up pair of socks, and I had a lovely wool sock. Just get a drink, sorry. I got this for Christmas from my son. It's really helping me drink water. How pretty, eh? It's very nice to drink from as well, being a glass straw. I should have topped that up before I started, shouldn't I? This might be a long video because I'm not getting through it very quickly, am I? I do apologise if this is the worst video ever, but, you know, I'm trying my best to do one for you. So, Blue Fern socks. I did a toe-up sock for the first ever time, and I did it striped, and that way I knew I could use all the yarn because I had 5 20-gram minis, and it was my first time. I did a rib sock, and I had the help of one of my lovely wool swap ladies. Unfortunately, I did what I always do with socks, well, until I start making them too big. At this point in the year, all I was doing was making socks that were too small, unfortunately. So I made them. I could get them on. They fit all right, but they were just a bit too tight and it made them uncomfortable to wear. So I decided that they would be sent off to my frogging fairy. And they are safely balled up now for me to make another pair of socks. And because they are already separated out, I can probably do top down, which I'll prefer to do. I don't know, I'll see. It's not something I'm going to get back to anytime soon. Then I had the Lola top, which I've not got here. I think it's one I gave to my mum, but I can't remember. Didn't quite fit me right. It was a little bit too big, and it put me off. I didn't feel nice wearing it. And I made a decision this year that the whole point of me knitting garments for myself, apart from the process and enjoying the process immensely, is that I want to get things that fit me well, and I want to make knits that I feel good in. So I'm trying my best to get to the point where I find yarn weights I like, patterns I like, and to make things look a bit more polished and more versatile things, and things that I need in my wardrobe. So yeah, below the top, I think that went to Mum, but I can't really remember. Or to the charity shop, one of the two. Then I made the Tolster. We've still not got to one that's in this pile. Ah, this might be the Tolster tee. Yep. Absolutely love wearing this. Now, these are not my colours at all, but these are Lay Family yarns that we got in a spring Valentine's box. Me and Mona got exactly the same, and then the lilac yarn is one that I had in stash, and this fits me lovely. I did have gauge issues, but I resolved that at the underarm point. A little bit snugger on the sleeves than I would have wanted, and I've just literally done a cap sleeve, which again I really like. Love wearing this top. It's got a lovely drape. It grew quite significantly when I blocked it, which was to my advantage on this occasion. And the yarn's lovely, but like I say, it does grow a lot, so you need to be aware of that. But it's just normal superwash sock yarn. And even though these wouldn't be colours I'd pick for in the top, I felt like I'd really achieved something with this garment because, excuse me, I managed to make a top out of minis, out of a box that I just randomly bought, didn't know what was going to be in it. And actually, I really enjoy wearing it. It's something totally different. Yeah, it was a great success, that. And I can imagine that I will make Tolster tees again. It's a very simple pattern. And she's a loose knitter, Rebecca Clow, from the Cray Bear, who that's her pattern. She's a looser knitter than me, but the fit is pretty good on those Tolster tees. So I would imagine that we've got a similar body shape. And then I finished Dwayne's socks, and they were the green ones. I can't show you because he's got them on. He loves wearing them, wears them all the time. Very knit worthy. Then the last one for February, it's another one that's been frogged, and that is a staple tee. And unfortunately, as much as I wanted to love that top, I just didn't, because the fit was funny on it. And to be fair, I didn't really like the yarn it was made out of. It was a BC yarn, and I can't remember the name of it. It was a cotton wool blend, but it was quite a dry yarn. It wasn't very pleasant to knit with. And what happened with mine, and I think looking at the project pages, it does seem to do this, is because you do a double folded hem on the sleeves, and the way this pattern is written, it seems to flirt up. Now, I don't like that. I just think it looks peculiar. I'm sure that, other people will find that fine, but I wasn't keen on it, so went off to the Frogging Fairy quite recently. Sorry, I'm just going to go and top up my water and get a Strepsil because I'm really struggling with my voice. Sorry, it's trying to go at the moment. Apologies if you can hear me sucking the strepsil, but it might just mean that I don't keep coughing every 5 seconds, which is rather annoying when I'm trying to tell you things. Okay, so that's February done. And March, so nothing completed in March. I mean, we've got a massive pile here, which I'm sure these were all knit this year, but not got to them yet. Another one I've not got here is my test knit, and that was knit for Perfectly Knotted, and it was a Malbrigo. I think it was Chunky Weight that I knit it in as a red one. I've probably got a picture knocking about somewhere that I can put up on the screen. That sweater just didn't fit me very well, so I decided to send that off to the charity shop. I think it was just the wrong gauge for my liking with that thickness of yarn. It just made it felt like quite a stiff sweater on me and wasn't comfortable to wear. I don't know if that means that I'm not keen on the chunkier weights. I don't know. Then I've got one I can show you from April. Now, where is it? Got sweaters falling all over. And this is one of my all-time favourites. I adore wearing this. And the good thing about this outline tee, which I made with the yarn, the Isla yarn, which if you've been here for any time, you'll know that I absolutely love her yarns. And this was the yarn that you got in the Kickstarter show bundle. You got 200 grams, and I was able to make this beautiful, lovely, and it's quite a long body, drapey top, and I feel lovely when I've got this on. And I've got a pair of pants that I wear it with, wide-legged, cropped, blue trousers, and yeah, can't say enough good things about this. Absolutely love it. It's the outline tee by Jessie May Designs. I've worn this loads. The only thing, I made a modification to the pattern. On the outline tee, it does actually have like an outline, hence the name. I just didn't bother doing that because I knew I didn't want that to be on there. But otherwise, I'll definitely do this pattern again, I would have thought. Absolutely love the fit of it. The feel of it on my skin. It's wonderful. This is a 50% silk, 50% wool. Now, yellow's not normally my colour, but this subtle little pop of the muted yellow. I think the colourway was called Sea Glass for this. Definitely one of my top for the year. Worn it absolutely loads. Look really nice in it. And I've got some lovely photos because I wore it to the show and I'd had my hair done. And yeah, nothing bad to say about that one. All positives. Love it. Love the yarn. I've bought more of her yarn since. Highly recommend her yarns and that pattern. To be fair, I'm a big fan of Jessie May patterns. They just do seem to turn out, for me anyway. Okay, and the next thing that I finished in April, which I thoroughly enjoyed doing, and I documented in some videos on my channel, is I did a sock tube and I followed Craft House Magic's tutorial. And in the tutorial, you use 100 grams of yarn, knit a massive long tube with the 100 grams, doing a cuff at one end and then a toe at the other. I think, or you add your toe on, sorry, no. Yeah, you do your cuff at one end and then you use a contrast to do a toe at the other end once you've run out of yarn. And then she walks you through the steps to be able to make two full pairs of socks from the 100 gram yarn, and I think these turned out really well, and I'm really, really pleased. I decided to go for a neon pop of colour on this one, and then a neon pop in the purple. I do wear these socks. They are a bit of a snug fit. I think the afterthought heel looks quite good on these, but not my favourite heel for just the way it is around the joining bits really, but on these they turned out pretty well. I've worn them loads, but they're not really the most practical, because you wouldn't, well, I wouldn't really want them funky socks on show. It's not going to be the most elegant looking outfit, is it? Okay, and that's everything for April. Lots of ins in April, because we did go to Woolly Good Gathering, which was fantastic. Okay, so May. I can't quite believe we've got to May in my in the year, and still I've got this massive pile of garments. Only two I've talked about. I must have been knitting very heavily in the second half of the year. Okay, so after getting back from the Woolly Good Gathering, where has it gone now? I'd got some minis from Isla, and I decided to knit this cowl. Now, I wish you could feel this because it's gorgeously soft. The colours look stunning together. You know, orange wouldn't normally be my cup of tea, but this pop of orange with these greys and the pinks, absolutely love it. This was 100 grams of yarn. I ended up with some leftover, which I've put into my blanket, and it was a total pleasure. It was so easy to knit this cowl. I think it's called the Leftover City Cowl, something like that. But yeah, it's beautiful. I haven't worn it much because, quite honestly, I often forget about my accessories. Next thing that I knitted was a Summerlee pattern, and it was these faded socks. I used 3 minis. Oh no, I used 2 minis, and I used leftovers from some yarn that Mona had bought me last Christmas, that I've already got a full pair of socks from. I think these colours work stunning together. I followed her fading pattern that she gives in her thing on her YouTube video. Now, these turned out lovely. The only problem I have with these is this cuff seems too baggy on my foot, unfortunately. Otherwise, they're lovely. I do wear them, and I would like to have a go at making some other shorties in the future. Looks like a bit of my yarn has caught there and it's about to unravel, which is a bit of a shame, isn't it? Excuse me. Okay, the next thing that's on my list for May was the Sabai top. And if you remember the Sabai top, it was massive on me, and I didn't like the way it looked on me. So that got sent across to Mum. So we're on to June. Oh, and we've got a couple of tops here. So, okay, so the, oh, I know what that is. I've just realised there's one here that's been frogged and I've not, yeah. Okay, so it's the Feels Right tee. And that's this one, which I think you can probably see straight away what the problem is with this. Absolutely love this top. the colour is fantastic. This is how I got in touch with Vanessa from My Creative Garage, because this is a Lily Kate France pattern, which, by the way, I absolutely love her patterns. They're really enjoyable to knit, very engaging knits, even when it's a basic. Not hard to follow or anything like that, but little bits of tiny bits where she's really thought about things. The only thing with this is it turned out a little bit big. The other thing was I didn't alternate skeins, and as you can see I've got a point there which probably on camera looks really bad, I don't know, but it's very blue in parts and very pink in another. Otherwise I really do love this. I do wear it, just a little bit baggy. Not sure whether I should redo that or not. But it is a beautiful yarn from Vanessa. That's, yeah, it's the first one. It was a Taylor Swift sequin colourway. And then I knit the People's Shawl, which again, I've not even worn this yet, and it is the time of year where I could be wearing this and I've forgotten all about it, because I have all my accessories that I've knit just put in a drawer, and I just totally forget about them because they're not hung on the peg with my coat. Maybe that's what I need to do, find some sort of basket. Actually, I was wondering what I could do, but I've seen people using them little wicker basket things that they put onto coat hooks, and I could use one of them in the hallway. That would look all right, wouldn't it? With my accessories in. So I'm glad I've come up with that idea. So yeah, this is the People's Shawl. This was so much fun to knit, and because I'd picked this hand-dyed, I think it was a hand-dyed colour in the middle here. Yeah, I got that from Yarndale. And then this ready one is a Ula and Leah yarn, and that's, I love knitting with their yarns, they're beautiful. And this was one I got in a swat, which was like a cashmere blend. Now I've got about 100 grams left of this, and originally I was thinking of doing a hat to match this, but look at this colour against my forehead. I'm quite pale. I know against my brown hair it'll probably look okay, but do you think that colour would actually suit me as a hat? I'm not sure if it'll wash me out a bit. Would be nice to have a matching set, but as I've not even used this yet, I don't know. And the last thing that I made in June was the Tolster tank. That was made in a black cotton yarn, and I think it turned out too small, so that got frogged. The frogging fairy did that for me, as she's now known. Okay, and then I've not got it out the cupboard, and I'm not going to go on route right now, but I'm sure I've got a photo of the Scrabble kit, which I made myself, which I love. I'm not currently using it at the moment, but I'm sure I will use it again. And then another favourite of mine, which is not here, but I'll put a photo in, is another tea that I made from an advent, and it was my Alice in Wonderland advent from Yarn for the Soul. Lovely, lovely advent, very interesting to open. I was originally going to be doing a brioche shawl with it, but unfortunately I couldn't get the gist of the brioche. So, and I think what made it really difficult was the colours in the advent. A lot of them had a pale base, so I was finding it hard when I was doing the brioche to determine what were my yarn overs and what were my stitches. It was really difficult. So I decided to abandon that and not have the stress and make myself a t-shirt, and that was the Rocket Tee, and I absolutely love that Rocket Tee. The only thing that is wrong with that is it's not long enough, so I am going to do Fix It or Finish It or Frog It in February. Feel free to join along if you want. And I've put that rocket tea aside so that I can do it. And I just put the leftover colours into my minis bag. So I've just pulled out the next few in the sequence, and I should have enough there to add 2 or 3 stripes and put the ribbon on again. And I'm determined to fix it because not my colours again, like the other tea I showed you, but I just love how it fits me, and it's a bit fun. So yeah, we're in July already, and I've still got a massive pile here beside me. I can't believe it. Okay, so, oh, the next one's a good one. This is, yeah, August now we're in. And this top is one of my absolute favourites. And thankful to a lovely, lovely viewer, AJ, who suggested this designer to me. I can't remember what for, but then I went looking and I saw this and I knew it would be perfect, because at the time I was finding that a lot of the t-shirt patterns and stuff had a very tight crew neck, and I don't really like a tight neck. This one's perfect because it's just got a very small V, which I enjoy. But this one is a square neck. And it's such an easy knit, this. And you know what? Let me just tell you from here, 170 grams for me to knit this top. It is worn a lot, sorry. So I've knit this with a yarn from Dystopic Fibres, and it's this red one, which is Toadstool. And then this is the Cotton Merino from Knitting for Olive. And I think it's a rose colour, dusty rose or something like that. My partner had got me that for something else, but I've used it for this, and I'm so glad I did. I can't imagine that I will knit another one of these, whether it be a excuse me, a striped one or not, I don't know. But what I absolutely love about this top is I've used a hand-dyed yarn here for this, a tonal for this one of the stripes, and then a commercial yarn, and the two together I think make a lovely combo, and I always feel good when I've got this top on. So I probably will do that sort of thing again. And 170 grams to get a top is pretty good, isn't it? 2 skeins. Oh, and then I finally got my cloud sweater finished. This was the one that was inspired by Benicia at the Woolly Worker, and this is another Jessie made pattern, but I can't remember. I think it's the Cozy Classic Raglan, and I used Drops Alpaca in like a creamy colour, and then I used a hand-dyed Surrey Alpaca, and where is it from? Mammy and Florrie. And yeah, this turned out absolutely beautifully. The only thing was the alpaca grew so much. It's very cosy to wear this, and I have to roll up my sleeves, which does disappoint me somewhat. And I know it's not a big deal. It does make it a rather cosy sweater. I still do find this a little bit prickly with the fluff, but I do wear it quite regular, and it definitely feels soft and cosy, and you just feel snuggly when you've got it on. And then I finished Dwayne's sweater, which you've seen before, which was a single malt. That was everything for August. And then in September, I finished Dwayne's Musselburgh, or I knit Dwayne's Musselburgh, should I say. And this is done in a yarn that I got from the Woolly Good Gathering, and it's a Zakami yarn. When I go to shows, I do just sometimes pick up random single skeins for socks or hats or accessories for my partner, because he does really enjoy those. Oh, and the next thing I did in September was my porcelain sweater. Now again, this is another one that turned out absolutely stunning. I love my contrast colours. I was inspired by a picture that I'd seen on Instagram, where rather than using the traditional porcelain colours of the blue and the cream, or the blue and white, I decided to go for these pops of colour. Now, originally I had a different colour for this section, but I decided to go with a colour that I had got from Vanessa, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful. It's got a bit of a sparkle, and I don't know if you can see. I've worn this sweater absolutely loads. Fits me lovely, not too tight on the neck either. The only thing I would say is that the main yarn was absolutely stunning to knit with. It is the Fiberco Luma, I think it's called, and it's a wool cotton blend and linen, I think. It's a combination anyway of plant fibres and wool, and yeah, just absolutely love it. The only thing is, I don't know if I should have done full length sleeves, if this did the right decision doing the 3/4, but I just wanted to go for something a bit different really. And yeah, it fits me nice, it looks lovely on. The only thing I'm concerned about is that because it's got the cotton, the neckline might stretch out too far, but I say that, and it's only if I wear it for quite a lot, then I need to like block it, and you know, it seems to go back in shape okay. But that's another one of my favourites. I love that I went for those bright pops of colour. My other finished garment for October was the Salty Days by Veronica Lindbergh, and unfortunately this has been a bit of a massive fail. Now, I bought a really nice yarn, and unbeknownst to me, when it turned up, it was it's quite rustic, and even after being blocked, I don't know if I could wear this against my skin. And I don't like the idea of having to have a top on underneath a sweater. Although that obviously is an option. I think it looks absolutely stunning. The stitch definition is fabulous. Looking at it now, it looks like a beautiful, beautiful sweater, which I feel I've knit very, very well. But unfortunately, it's just too tight. And it's rather disappointing. Not sure if I've got the heart to rip it back. If I did rip it back, would I knit something different or the same sweater, bearing in mind that it is quite an itchy fabric to me? I've got here a DK and a lace held together. It's the Appledore DK in Quench by, I can't remember the name of the company now. I'll put it up on screen so that you know. But I mean, if you look at it just held up, it looks beautiful. But I didn't really know what to do about that. It's kind of one of those that I've just put in my wardrobe. Every so often I think, oh, should I try that on? And I try it and I think, no, it's too tight. It just doesn't look flattering because it's too tight. I love how the yarn's knit up though, the way it looks. It's on the tip of my tongue, the name of the company that yarn's from, and it's so annoying. I know it's Appledore DK in Quench, you know, I know the yarn. Hey ho. Maybe it'll come to me. Okay, and then in November, I knit Mona's Scrabble kit. for her birthday. And then the late summer, well, I finished it, should I say, in November before her birthday. And then I knit the late summer dream tea, and here it is. You'll instantly be able to see what the issue is with this, because it's absolutely massive. Now, this was knit with drops, cotton merino, is it, or cotton wool, and then the drops alpaca, brushed alpaca, and absolutely love the colour of it. It's turned out absolutely beautiful. It's super soft, snuggly to wear, really love it. Wouldn't mind it being oversized, but this just looks ginormous on me. I wore it, was it yesterday or the day before? Thought I'll just try that on again, and yeah, too big. So again, opposite problem, but I have now got the yarn. So the yarn that I've knit this in, the woolly knit cone, and the I've got a darker brushed alpaca, and I've got this coloured yarn to hold together to make another one. I'm going to make it a size smaller, and I'm hoping that this yarn, because it's got quite a good structure and the fluff together, will be a good combination for it to be, and sizing down. It was a relatively fast knit, this one. Really enjoyed knitting it. Bottom up, new construction to me. Had to join the underarms. Not sure how much of a good job I did with that, but with the fabric that it makes, it really isn't noticeable. But I don't know what to do with that one. Now, is it fair to send it to the frogging fairy with that fluff there? Or is there a way that I can fix it without having to pull it back? Because I really like the colour of it, and my partner says that colour, I'll show you anyway against my skin. Well, I'm looking a bit peaky, aren't I, with this dreaded allergy I've got, but he says this colour does actually suit my skin tone. And he liked it, so put in the comments what you think I should do with that, or your suggestions. And then I did knit a Musselburgh, which was one of the gift knits, which you've seen in my last video on my podcast. And then there was 2 more Musselburghs in December. And then the last thing, which you've seen very recently, is my sweater that I wore on Christmas Day. And again, this one is a Jessie Made Designs, very V-neck raglan. And it is definitely one I'm proud of from this year. Really, really love how this turned out. The yarn is newsprint from Soho, DK weight. It looks absolutely, it feels absolutely stunning when you're wearing it, lovely and soft. And it knit up relatively quickly. I was playing yarn chicken. I only had 400 grams of the DK weight yarn, and it was a gift I got last Christmas, so I knew that's all I had available to me to knit this sweater in. And yeah, I can tell that I'm going to wear that a lot. It's perfect length with my black trousers. I want more garments that make me feel like this one does. Polished, more polished. So if you've got any suggestions for patterns or ideas, or going forward, I will be talking about my goals in a new video. So what do you think to my massive pile of garments? I think I've knit quite a lot there. I can't quite believe what I've actually knit in the year. It's a lot. And some successes, some fails, but I've learnt a lot along the way. Been learning about my gauge, my tight gauge, and a lot of learning about socks and trying to get the fit right. And that will continue on into 2025. And I will be doing a goals video very, very soon. I've been having a good think about what I want to do. And I'll talk to you more about that in the next video. And hopefully by then, my voice will be a bit better. So I hope you've enjoyed this video despite my illness. And have you knit any of these patterns? What have you knit in the past year that you're happy with? What have you not been happy with? I'd love to hear all about how 2024 has been for your knitting journey. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one, which will probably be a podcast on Friday. Bye for now.